and a stunning claim by the executive editor of the New York Times with a very harsh view of the Obama administration. She calls it the most secretive White House that she has ever dealt with, and she's dealt with them since Ronald Reagan. Welcome, everybody, to a brand new hour of America's Newsroom. I'm Martha McCallum.
I'm Bill Hemmert, saying something, huh?
Yep.
Jill Abramson has covered presidents for nearly 3 decades, but when it comes to working with this administration, which President Obama vowed to be the most transparent ever, she says she has never known a worse time for reporters covering stories of national significance, telling Al Jazeera America, quote, "I would say it is the most secretive White House that I have ever been involved in covering, and that includes presidents from President Reagan on up through now," end quote.
Chris Direwalt, Fox News digital politics editor and the host of Power Play on FoxNews.com Live, joins me now. Chris, good morning to you.
Good morning.
You know, I mean, she cites really these 7 criminal leak investigations that have been underway. She said that it more than doubles the highest number that any other administration has ever even attempted. I mean, that's really at the basis of all this, right?
Well, that's at the basis of it. Certainly the tactics that the Obama Justice Department is engaged in vis-a-vis the press, as our friend James Rosen might be handily available to point out, but the Associated Press also. These heavy-handed bully tactics were widely denounced. But guess what? Other things in the day-to-day grind, like not letting photographers have access to the president, as his predecessors did, to take pictures, instead relying on social media to sort of splurp out White House preferred narratives on things. I believe it was an Associated Press photographer who referred to it as propaganda, that you just churn out the preferred image for the president and his team, and you don't let reporters inside the bubble.
Yeah, I mean, you point to social media, which I think is a great point. I mean, I think that it has dramatically changed the landscape of how this White House deals with the press, because you have the ability in many ways to sort of craft your own message, to put out there what you want to put out there, to answer questions when you want to put them out, to tweet something when you don't feel like answering a question. Do you think that plays a large part, or is it more the nature of this administration?
I think it's a means to an end. I think that every president would like to have used all the previous medium, whether it was newspapers or radio or television or whatever, to just blast out what they want people to hear. Why wouldn't you? Why have any interface with people who might occasionally ask you a difficult question when you can just lay it on the electorate? I think social media is just, in their case, a means to an end, and the end that they want is unfiltered presidential narrative for the American people, and no possibility that, say, Ed Henry, for example, might pose a difficult question.
Yeah, which he might.
Which he might.
The irony here, Chris, is that, you know, this is a president who the early on criticism from the right was that he was just, you know, given messianic treatment, that, you know, the press was falling all over themselves to be nice to him. Even Saturday Night Live made fun of what great press coverage the president got all the time. So it's ironic that this should be the most closed-lipped White House of all, is it not?
It is ironic, but maybe it's also this. Maybe it's that it is never a good hope as a journalist to hope that the alligator eats you last. That if you think that you are so nice, so sweet, and so tender with a politician that you will get preferred access, in this case with these folks, they don't care how fawning the treatment. They don't care how the kid gloves are. What they want to do is put their message out there, and you can't suck up to them enough to get inside the bubble. That's how they do it. So the lesson for reporters is probably go ahead and be tough, because you're going to get the shaft anyway.
Yeah, and then you're going to get a criminal leak investigation after you if you get too tough, as Jill Abramson contends, and is right. It's backed up by 7 of those investigations going on right now. Chris, thank you very much. Always good to see you.
You betcha.
Visit our politics page and sign up for Chris's daily political newsletter. Go to foxnews.com/FoxNewsFirst.